Hey, what's up? It's Tanaya. I am back with another lash video. I really hope you guys like these. I'm just excited that I found another way to record me as I'm lashing, and you guys can get like a close-up kind of view. Like, you're not all up in my business, but you're close enough to kind of like see what I'm doing. So I take this Sharpie marker. Now, this isn't like the thick point. This is like the thin point Sharpie markers. And I use this to kind of like map out what lengths I'm going to do where. Now, I need a new one. Like, mine is fading out, but I keep forgetting to buy another one. But it still comes in handy for me. So I am just mapping out the lengths that I'm doing on her. She likes more longer lengths. So I always do like, more longer lengths on her lashes. And sorry that my camera is like shaking, but that's because of where I have the holder or whatever. So the holder is literally on the lash bed. So whenever my arm hits the bed, that thing is going to be moving. So we're giving her a hybrid set. And I am making fans on the spot. I know I've told you guys multiple times that I make my fans at home when I'm watching TV, watching Housewives, and I just put them in trays, and I hand make a bunch in different lengths. But I've been kind of playing around with just making them on the spot. Quite frankly, it's just because I'm just tired of making them at home in my spare time. Like, I've been doing that for, I don't know, maybe a year plus. So I'm just taking a little break, but I will be back because honestly, when you make your fans ahead of time, it makes the set go by so much faster because you're just picking up and placing. So I will be back at it, making my fans ahead of time because I don't think I'm going to be, making fans on the spot that much longer. I do have clients over the next couple of days and I will be making fans on the spot, but We'll see, but I will be back making them at home. So I am just putting fans on her first. Sometimes I do fans first. Most of the time I put the classic extensions on the client first. Like, I'll put a bunch of classics and then I'll go in with fans. And, I don't have like a very specific way of how I do hybrid now. Hybrid really is you do one classic on one lash, and then the lash right next to it, you do a volume, and then the lash right next to that, you do a classic. I do not follow that to the T. I don't like to always follow the rules. So there's clients who like a lighter hybrid set where you're using less fans, or there's clients who like get full, so you're using more fans, but not to the point where she's like a volume set. But you know what I mean? Like, you're going to add a couple more fans than you typically would. So every client is different. I just do what I feel. And that's why I like to lash, because I'm constantly creating. Like, I'm not a robot just following one old same routine on every single person. So, I kind of play around. I put fans, I put classics, and when it looks right to me, it just looks right, and the more you do it, I guess you'll kind of know what I'm talking about, because if it looks crazy full, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm adding too many fans. Let me just put some classics in. Or if it doesn't look full enough, I'll add more volume fans. So I just eyeball it, and I just do what feels right to me and what looks right, and you may have clients who have like, gaps in their lashes, or maybe sparse in certain areas because they may have damage in certain areas, and you may have to put more fans in certain areas. So everybody's eyes are different. Like, their right eye could be completely different from their left eye. Like, this client's her right eye has more lashes than her left eye. So every client is completely different. So just do what you think is right, but as long as you're mixing classic and volume, it's a hybrid set, period. Now, I got a question from one of my subscribers. If you're watching, hey, what's up? They had asked me, like, what is the difference between classic and hybrid? Now, this is also hard to understand for clients as well. A lot of clients are going to ask you the difference between classic and hybrid. You'll probably won't get a lot of questions about the difference between classic and volume. But people tend to mix up the difference between classic and hybrid, and then the difference between like hybrid and volume. So the difference between classic and hybrid from a lash tech perspective, like I wouldn't really use this example to explain to a client, but from lash tech to lash tech is you're adding volume fans and you're also adding individual classic lash extensions in the set at once. When you do a classic set, you're only doing like 0.15 or 0.10, and those are like one hair extensions that you're putting onto the natural lash. So you're basically extending the length of that one natural lash, and you're placing one lash extension hair on one natural lash for her whole eye, for both eyes. And it's gonna elongate her lashes. It's gonna add some darkness because the lashes are gonna be black, and it's gonna add more curl to her lash. And it'll give you like a nice like type of mascara kind of look. It's not as full, and it also depends on how many natural lashes that client has. If you look at the difference between classic versus hybrid, when you're looking at how the sets turn out, visually you can immediately see a difference because hybrid is fuller because it has volume fans. Now, a volume fan is not just one lash extension hair. It can be 3 lash extension hairs in one bundle, 4 lash extension hairs, 5, it can be 10 because there's also mega volume fans. It could be 20 hairs in one fan bundle thing. So you're adding that, I'm going to call it a bundle, but you're adding that bundle of multiple lash hairs onto one natural lash, and you're doing that all throughout that eye. So it's going to give you more fullness, more density. It's going to give you volume, that va-va-voom strip lash kind of look. So from lash tech to lash tech, that is the difference. Classic is not giving you that much volume. You know, it's kind of just working with what you already have, but giving you more length and probably a little more curl. But doing hybrid or volume, you are adding bundles of lash extensions. That one bundle has like 5 lash extension hairs on it, and you're putting it on one natural lash, and you're doing that throughout her whole eye, or at least half or majority of her eye. And it's giving her way more volume. Now, the difference between hybrid and volume is you have classics in there. So volume set is going to be way more fuller than a hybrid set because you're adding all volume fans. So from lash tech to lash tech, that is the difference. And then, you know, if clients ask you, just show them pictures and then they can instantly see the difference. And then I'm just drying her up, getting her ready to go. I already put my sealant on her. I've been playing back and forth with nano misting and not nano misting because sometimes it turns the bases white for me. So I haven't been nano misting, and she is ready to go, and I'll see you next time.